What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Mina channel. And today I have a top 5 things that you should know about Catherine the Royal. No, Catherine Full Body. So Catherine Full Body is a remake of the original Catherine game that came out a few years ago for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So Catherine is a IP by Atlas, which usually does RPGs and that kind of stuff, and it's very different from other games. So a while ago I did a Should You Play Catherine game, so if you want to check out that video you can check it in the links there. But I figured instead of doing that I would just talk about things that you should know about this game, because there's some pretty cool stuff that they have changed on the game and some stuff for beginners that you might want to consider or think about. So before this, what is different from Catherine to Catherine Full Body? So most of the difference are actually going to be a change in the story overall, because they're adding a brand new character and a couple of stuff like the music and the gameplay and that kind of stuff. So it really does change up the way that the story turns out. There's actually a lot of more stuff added to it regarding that, but I'll talk in this video on down the line. But the story does change quite a bit because of changes like the characters and that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started with this. And at number 1 I have the gameplay. So one of the biggest things about Catherine is the gameplay plays out much different than you will expect in a game like this. So Catherine has 2 aspects to it. One is the at night you have pretty much every day you hang out with a friend, with a group of friends, and you have these conversations with them. You hang out at a bar for most of the time, and in this aspect what you're doing is socializing and you're getting to know these characters, and that is important because it takes part of what you're going to be doing later on down the line. In this aspect you get to talk to other people, you text a lot with Catherine and the other Catherine with a C, and you get to know them as well. Now all of this stuff also makes choices. All of these choices actually matter. There's a meter down in the corner, but depending on what you choose and everything, it makes decisions for you. Those decisions basically equal to whatever ending you're gonna get, depending on when you're in the timeline and everything like that. So you can go for 18 different endings, and that's kind of one of the things that depending on what you choose to do and everything, you're gonna get some choices that you might not like. So that is one aspect to it. And number 2, what we have is the other side of that gameplay, and this gameplay is basically puzzle style gameplay. You're gonna go up on a tower, you have to move these cubes, and you have to kind of move them, accommodate in a sense where you can escalate all the way to the top. Sounds easy enough, but there is a time frame to it or whatever. But the biggest thing is you're not the only person in the tower. There are other peoples out there, ships, people that look like ships, and as well as other monsters and things that are chasing you. And pretty much every night Vincent is gonna have these nightmares and things that he just kind of worries about and everything like that. So you have to do your best to survive, to go up the tower, to kind of just be able to accommodate and everything. At first it's not gonna seem like it's really hard, but it gets really hard down the line. So my advice for you is there is a mode where you can practice online and that kind of stuff. You can use that to kind of just get better at it. There is a new feature that is in in Catherine Full Body, so you should definitely take advantage of it to kind of just practice and everything, because down the line on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, it just gets pretty hard. So you have this aspect to practice and everything, and there's no shame to going the difficulty lower. If you're playing normal, you can play in easy, so there's no shame on changing that up. I don't think there's any shame on that. But moving up into number 3, I have the story. So the story, as I've said, has changed a bit, but for beginners, let me just kind of give you the overdraft of the story and everything like that. So the story starts with Vincent, who is meeting up with his current girlfriend / almost fiance. They're having a conversation about the future and about what they're gonna do and everything like that. You can tell that they have like this interesting dynamic to each other, and it's pretty interesting. Then Vincent goes to a bar with his friends, and he has this other conversation about how he's been doing and everything like that. And due to certain circumstances, he ends up meeting 2 other girls, with Catherine with a K, and then this new character that's been added into Catherine Full Body, whose name is Ren. So they all very different characters, and you're kind of caught up in this love triangle slash almost square, I guess. And your choices do matter. Who's gonna affect, who you're gonna end up being with, and that kind of stuff. The story is pretty interesting, and there's a lot of layers to it. One of the things that I kind of appreciate about this kind of gameplay and story style is because it really gets you to get to know these people, and they're not perfect. A lot of them, especially a lot of the guys that you meet, are in a sense just really bad people. Even Vincent himself is not really a hero per se. He's definitely the main character, but there's just a lot of stuff that he says and does that is kind of like, okay, well, I not necessarily agree with that, but you can really see these people that are pretty flawed, but at the same time you can kind of get where they're coming from. I think the game does a pretty good job at doing that. Not everything's gonna land for you though, so I do want to let you know there are some things that they say they kind of like, oh, okay, but you get to know these characters, and I think that's the biggest way of the way that the story progresses and everything. The story, when you progress the story forward, there are more choices and more stuff that you have to do. People that you meet, your conversations with other people affect your gameplay at night as well, when you're going to the tower and everything. So there's a lot of interesting dynamics with each other, and I really like the way that they play it out in the game and everything. So definitely one of those things that you should check out for. So number 3, as I mentioned earlier, number 4, there's new characters. Rin, who there's an interesting backstory to her. You meet her when you actually she's being chased down. You guys clash into each other, and you get to know more about her and her story and that kind of stuff like that. So I really like her. She at first she has amnesia, but then she starts regaining her memory. So there's that aspect to it that I just really like how it plays out and everything. Her new character, I like her okay. I don't think she was necessary for the story or anything like that, but it's always nice to have a new character to get to know and everything. So I definitely like that at all. And number 4, as I mentioned earlier, the choices matter a whole lot. This is a choice and consequence game. You can get up to 18 different endings depending on how you decide to play things out, and I think that's one of the things where, depending on how you decide to play it out, a lot of the endings come out very similar to each other, but to get the true ending, it's just up to you, really. Whoever you decide you like the most, whoever you spend the most time with, whoever you like better. Because at the end of the day, this game is pretty flexible as far as letting you choose what you want to do. And a lot of those choices can be pretty crappy, to be honest with you. A lot of times, neither of the choices are things that I will say. I wish that maybe there were other options besides what you have to say, and you have to choose between 2 really crappy options. So you're gonna find yourself in situations where all the choices are bad, or things that you don't want to choose, and it's just kind of the way that the game forces you to go through a specific route. But I feel overall, after playing it a couple of times and getting different endings, that I really do like how it plays out and everything. I do appreciate how it comes from and everything like that. Again, getting to know these characters is kind of like the best part of this game, I believe. But anyway, that is pretty much it. 5 things that you should know about Character in Full Body. Have you played this game? Are you gonna pick it up today? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.